Welcome back, you magnificent bastards, to the Drunken Rant Uncensored. I'm Liam, and I'm fucking wasted.
And I'm Olivia, and hey, I'm so wasted. Ooh.
Tonight, my lovely Olivia, what the fuck are we ranting about?
Tonight, my inebriated friend, we're diving into the deep, dark, and disgustingly deceptive world of the Quaker Oats Company.
Quaker Oats. Those wholesome motherfuckers who make oatmeal? What could they possibly have done? Did they, put fucking crack in their granola bars or something?
Worse, Liam. Way worse. This episode is called Holy Shit. They fed radioactive oatmeal to kids?
Radioactive oatmeal? Are you fucking serious? Those goddamn Quaker bastards were feeding kids glowing porridge? What the hell for?
Well, to understand this absolute shit show, we need to rewind a bit. Picture it. America, post-World War II. Quaker Oats, those oat-slinging sons of bitches are at the top of their game. Their image is squeaky clean, wholesome as a goddamn Norman Rockwell painting. You know, like apple pie and all that shit. But behind that facade, something sinister is brewing.
Ooh, I love a good conspiracy, especially when I'm 3 sheets to the wind. Tell me more, you beautiful, brilliant, and slightly buzzed babe.
So these Quaker Oats assholes team up with some brainiacs from MIT and Harvard for a little experiment. They set up shop at the Walter E. Fernald State School in Massachusetts, a residential institution for kids with disabilities. Yeah. Now, on the surface, it sounds almost philanthropic, right? Like they're helping these kids?
Philanthropic, my ass. Those bastards were using those poor kids as guinea pigs.
What kind of fic experiment needs a bunch of disabled kids?
Okay, so they called it the Science Club. Huh. And these kids, they got free meals, special privileges, trips to baseball games, all that fun shit. They even got their parents to sign consent forms.
Consent forms? For what? To be irradiated? Those parents were probably told it was some harmless vitamin study or some shit.
You got it, Liam. The consent forms conveniently omitted a teeny tiny detail. Yeah. The food was laced with radioactive calcium and iron. Now, radioactive calcium is basically calcium that's been, juiced up with radiation, and it's not exactly something you want to be eating on your Cheerios, you know?
Motherfuckers. I knew it! What kind of sociopathic assholes do that to children? What were they even trying to prove?
Get this. They wanted to track how minerals are absorbed by the body, all for a goddamn advertising campaign. They were going to use these kids as proof that Quaker Oats was the most nutritious shit you could shove down your gullet.
Can you fucking believe this? They poisoned innocent children with radiation to sell more goddamn oatmeal. This is some seriously evil corporate bullshit.
Right. You'd think those Ivy League eggheads would have some goddamn ethics, wouldn't ya? But nope. They were all too happy to play along with Quaker's twisted scheme.
So what happened? Did they get away with this? Did those kids, turn into the fucking Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles or something?
Not quite, Liam. Though that would have made for a hell of a story. Obviously, this whole thing eventually blew up in their faces, the public found out, and let's just say they weren't too thrilled. There were lawsuits, settlements, the whole shebang.
I bet those Quaker assholes paid a hefty price for their little science project, didn't they?
Oh, they did. A whopping $1.85 million was split between MIT Quaker Oats and the families of those poor kids. Pocket change for a corporation like Quaker, but hey, at least those families got some kind of justice. But here's the kicker, Liam. This wasn't even Quaker's first rodeo when it came to shady marketing tactics. They've got a whole history of this shit.
Wait, there's more. What else did those oat-loving bastards do? This is better than that Tiger King documentary.
So you know that iconic Quaker Oats logo, right? The dude in the Quaker garb looking all wholesome and shit?
Yeah, what about it?
Well, turns out it's a total sham. Quaker Oats has absolutely no ties to the actual religious society of Friends, you know, the actual Quakers.
Wait, seriously? They're just using the image of a Quaker to sell oatmeal. That's some next level bullshit.
You got it. They're cashing in on the Quakers' reputation for honesty and integrity while pulling some seriously shady shit behind the scenes.
That's messed up. So what did the Quakers do about it? Did they, boycott oatmeal or something?
Well, the Quakers, they're pacifists, right? So they're not exactly known for their aggressive tactics, but they definitely weren't happy about it. They protested it, wrote letters, tried to get Quaker Oats to stop using their image. Imagine these peaceful oatmeal-loving folks having to deal with this shit. I mean, come on, it's almost comical. It's like finding out the Dalai Lama is secretly running a fucking sweatshop or something.
Okay, that's pretty fucking funny. It's like those Quaker Oats execs are living in some bizarro world where radioactive oatmeal and violent Quakers are totally normal.
Right, it's like they just don't give a shit. But wait, there's more. This is where things get really interesting.
Hit me with it, Olivia. I'm all ears and 2 shots of tequila deep.
Remember how Quaker Oats was all about being wholesome and heart healthy. Yeah, well, it turns out that was a load of crap, too.
Don't tell me. They were putting trans fats in their oatmeal. The bastards. They were poisoning us with heart disease while preaching about healthy living. I'm starting to think these Quaker Oats guys are the biggest hypocrites on the planet.
You're not wrong, Liam. They were slapping heart-healthy labels on their products that were loaded with trans fats. You know, those artery-clogging bastards that are about as good for your heart as a shot of tequila on an empty stomach. It was in granola bars, instant oatmeal, all that shit.
Those sneaky bastards. I bet they made a killing selling us heart attacks disguised as healthy breakfast options. They're probably laughing all the way to the bank while we're all like dying from heart attacks.
You said it, Liam. But eventually the jig was up. In 2010, they got hit with a class action lawsuit that forced them to remove trans fats from their products. Cost them a cool $1.4 million, but that's just a drop in the bucket for a company that's been screwing over consumers for decades.
A measly $1.4 million. That's like a fucking parking ticket for those corporate fat cats. They probably wrote it off as a business expense and kept on trucking. What a bunch of crooks.
It's enough to make you want to drown your sorrows in a bottle of, well, anything stronger than oat milk, that's for sure.
Cheers to that. We'll be right back after a quick word from our sponsors. Don't go anywhere, folks. We're just getting started. This Quaker Oats scandal is a wild ride.
All right, you drunken degenerates, welcome back to the Drunken Rant Uncensored. It's your favorite lush, Olivia.
And I'm Liam, still fucking wasted.
And we are still knee-deep in this Quaker Oats bullshit.
Olivia, baby, you're making me thirsty with all this talk about shady corporations and poisonous porridge.
So where were we? Yes, the Quaker Oats Company's blatant exploitation of vulnerable populations in the name of profit.
Exploiting vulnerable populations. You mean like using orphans to test new flavors of oatmeal or something?
That's not far off, actually. Remember the Walter E. Fernald State School where those radioactive oatmeal experiments took place?
Oh yeah, that place was like a real-life horror movie, those poor kids.
Well, it turns out that the use of institutionalized children in medical research was a pretty common practice back in the day.
So they were using those kids as lab rats. That's sick. Those kids had no choice, no voice. They were completely at the mercy of those so-called scientists.
Exactly. And it wasn't just Quaker Oats, mind you. A lot of big corporations were involved in this kind of shady research. It's a dark chapter in American history that's often overlooked.
Well, we're not going to overlook it on the Drunken Rant. We're shining a light on these corporate criminals, one drunken rant at a time.
Cheers to that, Liam. Now back to the Quaker Oats logo.
The creepy-ass Quaker dude with a smile that could curdle milk.
That's the one. So they weren't just appropriating Quaker imagery, they were also using it to promote violence.
Violence? You mean like beating up innocent little oats or something?
No, you drunken fool. I'm talking about actual violence. Remember Popeye? The spinach-guzzling sailor man? Well, Quaker Oats decided to dress him up as a Quaker and have him pummel the shit out of Bluto in their ads.
Popeye as a Quaker. Now that's just fucked up. Those Quakers are all about peace and love, man. They wouldn't hurt a fly. I bet those real Quakers were fuming mad.
You bet your ass they were. They bombarded Quaker Oats with letters and protests demanding they stop using their image to promote violence. It's like the ultimate irony, right? The Quaker Oats Company, known for its wholesome image, is using the symbol of peace to sell sugary cereal by showing a cartoon sailor beating the crap out of someone.
It's like they were trying to start a war between the breakfast eaters and the non-breakfast eaters. What were those marketing geniuses thinking? Maybe they were high on radioactive oatmeal fumes or something?
Now, Liam, you mentioned how Quaker Oats loves to preach about being heart healthy. Let's dig into that steaming pile of hypocrisy. Remember how we were talking about trans fats? Those artery-clogging bastards that are about as good for your heart as a shotgun blast to the chest?
Oh yeah, those delicious little devils. They make everything taste better, but they'll also kill you faster than a bottle of tequila on an empty stomach.
Exactly. But Quaker Oats, those masters of deception, were slapping heart-healthy labels on their products that were packed with trans fats. I'm talking granola bars, instant oatmeal, the whole goddamn lineup. They were feeding us poison while pretending to care about our health. Can you believe the audacity of these corporate assholes?
It's like they were saying, hey, here's some delicious, convenient oatmeal that'll clog your arteries and send you to an early grave. But don't worry, it's heart healthy. I'm starting to think those Quaker Oats executives are the spawn of Satan himself.
You're on a roll, Liam, but hold on to your hats, folks, because we're about to take this rant to a whole new level of drunken outrage.
Bring it on, Olivia. I'm ready to unleash my inner hellhound on these Quaker Oats motherfuckers. Welcome back, you drunken degenerates, to the Drunken Rant Uncensored. It's ya boy Liam, still here.
Yeah.
And still pretty fucking wasted.
And it's your favorite lush Olivia back to deliver the knockout punch to the Quaker Oats Company.
You know, thinking about all this Quaker Oats shit's got me wondering what other kind of scams are going on out there.
Oh, I'm sure there are plenty. But for now, let's stick with the oat-loving devils.
Right. So where were we? My brain's a little foggy from all the tequila.
We were discussing Quaker Oats' blatant hypocrisy, remember? Preaching about heart health while pumping their products full of trans fats.
Oh yeah, those heart attack in a box oatmeal packets.
Yeah.
I can't believe they got away with that shit for so long.
Well, they didn't entirely get away with it, remember? They got hit with that class action lawsuit back in 2010. Forced them to cough up $1.4 million and remove those trans fats from their products.
A measly $1.4 million. That's like a drop in the bucket for those corporate fat cats.
True, but it was a victory for consumers. Showed them that we're not going to be fooled by their deceptive marketing tactics. It sends a message, you know. Don't mess with the people.
Yeah, fuck with the bull and you get the horns.
Exactly. We need to hold these corporations accountable for their actions. That's what we're all about here at the Drunken Rant Uncensored.
Speaking of which, what's our next target? I'm itching for another good rant.
Patience, my friend. We'll find another corporate villain to expose soon enough. There's no shortage of those bastards out there.
You're telling me. It's like they're breeding these days. Well, folks, that's about it for tonight's episode of The Drunken Rant. We've had a hell of a time dissecting the Quaker Oats Company and all their shady bullshit.
Yeah.
Hopefully you've learned a thing or two and maybe had a few laughs along the way. Just remember, folks, always read the label, question everything, and never trust a corporation that claims to be wholesome.
And most importantly, never stop fighting for what's right, even if you have to do it with a bottle of tequila in hand.
Cheers to that. And to all you magnificent bastards out there, keep it real, keep it drunk, and we'll see you next time on The Drunken Rant Uncensored.